without any means of knowing how I was going to afford it, I said yes.
Powerful. Guys?
And sometimes we only need to say yes, because when we know we're going for something, it's the fact is, don't doubt yourself.
Yes.
Just say yes anyway, and then see how you then make it happen.
All right, guys, because guess what? Now we move on to the next section of the program, which is our pursuit of success. All right, that's it, guys. And it's that time of the show where we always have a guest coming in to share with us their journey, and we drill the nuggets to find out what they've done to build what they build. And last week we had Merlee Harris, and she's with us today on the line. Do we have here Merlee Harris?
Good morning.
Good morning, Merlee. How you doing, super lady?
Really, really well.
Oh, fantastic.
Wonderful day.
What's it like when you wake up in the morning?
When I wake up in the morning, it is just the best thing ever, because I know that I didn't wake myself up. So first thing in the morning, we always have ocean meditation. So we're going to a special place. And we give thanks. That's what it's like for me in the morning.
Fantastic. Well, you
knowing that I've woken up.
That's well. You sound very relaxed and assured. I feel soothed just hearing your voice this morning. I must say. All right. And last week we had your show. We heard about your journey. You was brought at a very young age from the Caribbean, right? Grew up in the at age 3. All right. And so pretty much you grew up as a Londoner, very strict Caribbean parents, right? And you had a desire for the Caribbean, for the arts, creative arts. Unfortunately, as with that previous generation, it was kind of stifled because obviously everybody wants you to be a doctor, to be a nurse, to be a solicitor, etc., etc. However, you did pursue those things, because wherever you apply yourself to, you are a person that decides to apply yourself, right? And parents don't joke if we don't do so well.
That's correct.
However, and the great thing is you were started off in the medical field. You worked very hard, and what happened is that you came to a realization while working in the medical field, in the pharmaceutical field. That's right. And I think what you said something was interesting is that obviously they were helping people, but there were also a lot of situations where people were not seeing a resolution to what they were going through.
That's correct. Because it wasn't holistic, it was just medicated. People were just medicated. So, when I started to see that there could be a different way, I went off and pursued that way. So I went to America. I went to California.
So you started to travel?
I started to travel to do training, my naturopathy training, because it's quite a long course, because you're having to learn everything that's holistic, everything that's natural in medicine, and it's not just skimming the surface. They're diploma level trainings. And so I decided to go to America. I went to Nevis in the West Indies.
Wait, so let's pause for a moment, because because you've gone from the secure environment of a working, employed, nurse field, you know what I mean? And obviously your parents wanted you for your future, but because of what you saw, you're like, you know what? Let me do something. I mean, and what, did an opportunity come for you to travel? Did you start to search? What made you key into a holistic development?
Because I started to research more into health, more into diet, more into nutrition, more into herbal and realize that there was a whole world out there that I had not been privileged to. I'd been privileged to, I was a phlebotomist as well. So, as part of my training at the hospital, I was taking blood all the time. So, I had a whole ward. I'd get up and there'd be, 25, 30 people that I would have to be taking their blood. And you just see people laying there really sick, really unwell. And so when you start to learn that, if you eat this food, this could happen. If you take this herb, it can help with that. And so your eyes start to open that there's a whole other area that as a medic, you're not, you get 2 weeks of training about vitamin C and a few supplements, but not what really makes the body work from the point of food and nutrition. It's not, you only have to see what hospital food is like to know that it isn't part of that.
I know, right? I've seen the situation when a relative has been there a few times. It's quite interesting. Oh, by the way, just want to say, just to interject for a second. Tamia, you've been great. Have a great day at school today. All right, and you'll be able to catch the repeat of this program on Saturday. All right, Tamia. So she just messaged in live chat that she's off to school. So we wish you well. All right. So that's quite interesting because those days. Sorry, Hercules giving me that look. Did I miss something, Hercules?
Yeah, Connie.
Yes.
And good morning, breakfast show.
All right. Good morning, Connie.
Multiple fires.
Okay, good, fantastic. All right, so what's interesting about what you're saying, Merlee, is that those times Google wasn't such a big thing, right?
No.
That means you went into books, you started to research and understand
library. Invested in books, invested in audios. I have a library here of audio tapes. I went to bed with the tapes. I play my car.
Wow.
It just became my life.
So there's a nugget there, guys. If you're pursuing something, you go in with everything. You make it be your interest.
Well, if you ain't gonna go in with everything, then you're not gonna get, the fullness out. You can't do something mediocre or just try a little bit because when it comes to especially herbal medicine, oh my God, it is as wide as it is deep and different illnesses, according to different illnesses, different doses, different body types, different blood types. So you have to know what you're doing. So you have to have proper training. You can't, while the books are giving you information, you have to go to a school and do it correctly. Powerful. And that's what I did.
Wow. So you traveled abroad. Yeah. So you're just getting into this thing. You know that there's something out there that obviously your intention is to help people, right? You went to, where did you go?
I went to America. I went to Nevis. I went to India, Portugal, Spain, and just did the trainings there of the subject matter that I was researching. For instance, Ayurvedic medicine. I went to India because that's where it comes from. So I went to the place where it comes from. So I could actually be taught by the professors there, see how they mix the herbs, let them teach me because it's their core structure. So I'm getting it from the horse's mouth, right?
Oh my gosh, that's scary. That's an intense level of dedication.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, it has to be if in your heart you know where you want to take your life. And then, remember, I didn't have Beechcroft. I was still, going to other people's places and taking people.
Okay. So you started with gaining this information, you would share this information with people to help them, right?
To help them, yeah. And so my first retreat that I took people was actually in Portugal.
Okay.
And I took 25 people to Portugal. And basically with what I'd learned and the work that I knew from India, I was doing the detoxes from that level. But that was just the basics because it gets bigger and gets more. So yeah.
Wow. So and that's how. So obviously, so you don't have an established place yet. You've just invested in yourself, your knowledge, and where there's been opportunities abroad at different retreats, venues. So you would gather people together, and they would all go there. I mean, that's already powerful in itself. Like you got things started without having an established base. I mean,
That's right.
You know what I mean? It shows that we make room, our gift, our effort makes room for us, opens doors for us.
Yes, it does.
Absolutely amazing.
Yes, it does. And I realized that there were obviously in India where they're doing this, there are rooms, and so, it's just a matter of opening up your mouth, have conversations, don't hold back and be shy. When you see something, come forward, and you'd be surprised how when people see your interest becomes even more with you, right? Because they see that you're serious. And so there was lots of opportunity for me.
Of course,
when
because
I
you
saw
wouldn't
them,
keep quiet.
No, I wouldn't keep quiet because I thought, and the thing is, Robert, I find that people heal best outside of their environment because when you're not well and you're in your environment trying to do it, you still got all of your domestics, everything you have to deal with, right? When you take outside of their environment and they can actually concentrate on themselves with their illness, you find that the results are much, much better.
Wow, that's true. Because imagine you're still looking at those same four walls.
The four walls, you're having to cook for your family, there's all the emotional stuff still going on with the family, and you're trying to get up every day and make food that's different for yourself, that maybe a family member doesn't quite agree because they want you to go to the hospital, because we're so entrenched in the hospital mind, and as well because it's free, that when people are ill, it's about, well, why don't you go to the doctor? The person's not a doctor, go to the doctor, because they're not investing in finding out that when they give you that statin, it's going to have an effect. The blood pressure tablet, there's going to be another effect, because you've not got a base to see what has created it in the first place. And you're covering up the situation.
And you're someone that your background is medicine, so you're fully qualified, you know what they do, you know exactly how it works.
Absolutely.
But obviously hospitals do have their place, isn't it?
They have their place. If I broke my leg or a snake bit me or I was poisoned, I'd be straight to the hospital. Right? If I've got if it was diabetes, high blood pressure, stuff like that, I am not going to a hospital. In fact, tell you the truth, Robert, I can count on one hand, and you know my age, I've only been to the doctor on 2 occasions, and that's when I had my children, and I had to go.
All right.
Other than that, I've treated myself.
This is obviously your perspective. This is you, Merlee.
This is my perspective. This is not what I'm telling anybody else to do. This is why I do what I do, and I'm so passionate and involved in it, because I want to learn from such core levels that I can have enough that I'm not going to be pumped with drugs and everything else.
Strong things. So I'm just sorry to interrupt you. We have here one of our breakfast show talkers. We have here Janet. She asked, is honey, lemon, ACV and cinnamon a thing? Does it work for anything? All right.
It works. It works cold.
Yeah, cold, right?
It works for a cold. It helps to soothe the throat. Lemon also is a really good antioxidant, so it fights against, free radicals in the body that tries to destroy the cells. So lemon is very, very powerful, especially if you're using the whole lemon and not just a squeeze of lemon.
Brilliant.
The skin, the seeds, everything makes it into a powerful medicine.
Powerful. And then
of course, if you're taking honey, make sure it's honey that's not been sweetened with sugar, that it's actually from the bee. Because nowadays, when you go to the shops, you think you're getting honey, but actually it's partly sweetened with sugar.
Gotcha. All right, so that was a quick one there. And also we have here, the thing about the internet, this is from Janet from Nottingham. She says, the thing about the internet is that you can read one thing and you can believe it's good for you, and then go on a different site and told not to take certain things as they are bad for you.
It's very contraindicative in the sense that there are so many different opinions out there. So if you have an illness or you're worried about something, then I think you should see a naturopath. Go and see somebody that has done the training, that has almost sieved through all of the contraindications, has really done the work, and then they can give you an opinion on what it is, a suggestion on what it is. You know, as naturopaths, we don't prescribe. We work with the client to see best from the food factor where we can help you.
Okay.
And then with other things like acupuncture, homeopathy, you know, just the whole holistic way of working to get your body back to balance, because what we're looking for here is balance. When the body is in balance, it cannot be ill.
That's right. That's strong, isn't it? The body becomes like it's invincible. When the body's in balance, it cannot be
you
ill.
know, and again, we must be clear, it's not just about the food, it's about our mind, how we think, the things we engage in, the things we watch, the things we listen to, the friends we choose to have in our lives. That's all part of being well. If you've got friends that are acidic and that are, you know, that are negative, and you're listening to negative stuff and you're watching stuff that's not conducive to good health, then all of those things impact on our emotions.
That's true. Powerful.
That can make us unwell. We see it in our society now.
Cool. So we're going to come back to more questions, all right? Because the questions just popping up in the chat, all right? So we're going to come back, because what we want to know is how we got to build Beechcroft. Okay. So for a couple of years, you was so basically you was going to different venues, taking people with you, but then came
and training
and developing yourself. So you was growing with time with your efforts, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Learning new things.
And then I became the chairman of the Colonic Association.
Hey, we got some pictures up on that tin. Are they seeing the rotation of this wonderful woman that is...
I was just waiting for the queue now. Got the queue.
Yes, please do, because while she's talking, just put that picture there and just let them rejoice in her. It's wonderful.
There's a picture. If she could see, there's a picture of her, you know, by a sea.
Yeah, because I don't want to
see, but by a river, or pond, whatever it's called.
Yeah, that one with the tree, that's her at the retreat, isn't it, Merlee? That one where that there's a picture, like your Facebook picture, where you're on the tree thing, and that's your retreat, part of the retreat area.
France.
Oh, that's France. Okay, but that's what the retreat looks like. The retreat looks like a little paradise place. Trust me.
It is.
There's a picture of you. I think like an award ceremony.
Yeah.
Yes, that's when I received my Beam Award for excellence.
There you go. So this is it. So she's very decorated. So Merlee, so you was working that way. You received awards. You was training. You was developing. But there was one thought that came to your mind one day, isn't it?
And the thought said, I need to have my own place. I really do need to stop traveling and have what I'm doing somewhere. And I just prayed about it, Robert, and I actually started to do collages, right? So you know what collages. A collage, right?
Paint, like,
cutting out, and I'm making like a power board. I would
like a vision board,
right? Just putting things, vision boards, putting things out and seeing the vision out of my head onto a board, right? And then I basically stuck a pin in the map of where I should be, and Beechcroft was the second place that came up, and without any means of knowing how I was going to afford it, I said yes.
Powerful. Guys,
and sometimes we only need to say yes, because when we know we're going for something, it's the fact is, don't doubt yourself.
Yes.
Just say yes anyway, and then see how you then make it happen.
Booyah shaka. So on that note, we're going to find out how did we go from a pinpoint on the map to get this thing, like a little pin on the map, to get this thing started. All right, after this time out, guys. So all right, guys, welcome back. This is your breakfast show, and this is the Pursuit of Success section of the show. All right, great. All right, so we've literally just had Merlee Harris on the line, and she's been sharing us her journey and answering questions. And I know there's so many questions that you all have, and please keep putting them in the live channel. And then what will happen in the Pursuit of Success section part of the show, we're going to answer all your questions. All right, and maybe if you need to jump to work by that time, don't worry, we'll replay this program again on Saturday for you. All right, so it's going to be great. So I've got all your questions here. All right, we're just laying them all up. Just make sure you send it in our live chat. All right, so Merlee, you there?
Yes, I am.
All right, how are we doing, my dear?
Really, really well.
We're ready to tuck into the next section of your journey. Okay. All right, so from pinning that on the map, on the globe, the area of Beechcroft Retreat, what happened next?
I came down and I saw the place and decided that even without knowing how, I said yes.
How did you know where to go to? Like, how did it come up like?
Well, when you have faith and when you have the dream and when you know where you're going, it happens for you. You know, the people will show up, the place will show up because you're on a mission, you're on a journey, you know where you're going. You're not yourself or thinking, you know, can I, should I, let me, you are clear.
Yes.
And I'm very clear with what I wanted, right? So it's Forest Row, it's East Sussex, it's out of my comfort zone because I'm a London girl. And I still went out of my comfort zone and found this place. The thing is, what I want to make clear, when I came, it wasn't like going to be Merlee's big house or something. When I came down, I just thought, wow, this room for that person, 2 people can be here, this can be there, I can put a kitchen here, I started to create. Even as I was there looking around, I was creating on where I was going to put things and where they would go. So you saw the place as finished. Even though you're just looking at it. It's finished. Yeah. And you've been here and you've seen the progress. You've seen it happen.
Fantastic. So how did we get to take possession? How did it go to take possession? What happened? What was the divine force? What took place?
How did it go to what?
So how did you manage to obtain this place? How did you manage to get it? What were the challenges that you faced?
The challenges that I faced was obviously financial because it's a big project. It's a big place. But, you know, as I said to you, I'm a woman of faith. And I just prayed about it and I said, if it's meant to be for me, then all the things I've put in place to see if it can happen, then it will. And at the time, it was August. I remember I was taking 25 people to France for a retreat. And it was while we were there, it was about day 5 when I got the phone call from the estate agent saying that everything would tick the boxes, everything was fine, and that the keys would be September the 5th to pick up.
Wow. So you went for it anyway?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So not knowing how initially, but I said yes. And this is really, really important. Sometimes we don't know how we're going to do something, and we already put a damper on it by saying, oh, well, it's too big, or I'm not sure. And all of those words will draw that to it, right? Will draw that, well, I don't know, so I'm not sure, it might happen, it might not. I just said yes, and I was clear. And I'd already decorated the rooms, put the buildings outside. It was just, I was looking at it like I'm looking at this cup sitting here, and it manifested.
And obviously you got to work. And that
might sound magic, but it is in one way, but in a way it's showing that when we're determined about things, and the body works in the same way. When you have an illness or when something's going on, you've got to be sure how to treat it. From a holistic point of view, from my point of view. because God made us whole. He didn't make a mistake. And if you're using, all the plant-based and all the herbs and everything, and with the mind-body connection, and working with people who can help you from the point of view of emotions, you're going to get through.
So this is really powerful. So, so someone who's looking to undertake a very big project now. So what you're saying is like, okay, take the step forward. You don't know how it's going to happen. Take the step forward and then get to work. Get to work, and to network, to contact, to call who you need to call. It's like everything will get shown to you as you take each step.
That's right. You've got to start building the foundation like you would, like you build a house. You don't go and you think, you're going to get a house and you just, start getting the bricks and you got the and the thing, then you think, no, you have to set a solid foundation. So you get the people in place. First of all, say yes. Say, yes, this is what I'm after and this is what I'm going to have. And then you start to place everything around. And that's what happened for me. So it's that when people come and they sort of in awe, or they go, oh, how did you, I couldn't. I said, yes, you can. Just like how I can, anybody can.
It's true.
You just have to have the determination.
It's true, because when I think about it, I was even listening to a Fearless Motivation piece I'm going to share with everybody tomorrow. And usually sometimes when people undertake a big project, they sometimes they say, no, it's not for me, or I can't do it, or it's too big. They see all the reasons why not. Or if they start, they give up. As soon as they face the first hurdle, they give up, they stop at the first hurdle, where usually behind that hurdle is actually the solution. Behind that difficulty is the solution, or is where the solution is going to reveal itself, isn't it?
And as you know, Robert, I've had, people fraud me, and I could have lost everything. I could have gone down. But I didn't, because I knew what I was building here was something far bigger than myself. And it was a place where people would be able to come and get healing, get understanding, learn, get knowledge about themselves. So a mere man couldn't come and take it from me.
That's right.
Right? All the things were shown to me as the fraud was happening, and thank God I'm still standing. I'm still here, and the person's been put away.
There you go. There you go.
So
even an injustice took place, because now in those who were listening from the help center, we're having a week of injustice, going against the injustice, to seek for God's justice in our life, And so you've actually experienced this and experienced justice being done.
Absolutely, but I knew that the battle wasn't mine.
That's right.
So I was looked after, and as I say to you, I'm still standing. So, at sometimes we give up too soon, or the little thing happens, we say, see, I know I wasn't meant to have it, so that's why it's happening, and get all negative. No, you stay strong, you stay rooted in your conviction of what you're doing and what is yours, and no to take it apart from one person, and that's the one that gave it to me.
That's it. Absolutely amazing.
And so the journey has been fraught with with difficulty, because it wasn't like smooth, but because I knew where I was going, that's why I'm still here, and helped thousands of people from all over the world that come to Beechcroft for the program that I do here, which has saved lives.
Absolutely amazing.
The testimonies are online. It's not just me saying it.
Yeah, what's your website?
It's www.beechcroftretreats.com.
Okay, Beechcroft.
And that's Beech.
Yep.
Beechcroftretreats.com. But if you put Merlee Harris in the search anyway, it will.
Yeah, you just Google Merlee Harris, she'll come up. I'm telling you, absolutely amazing. And today, that's it. We've got Beechcroft Retreats. It's there. People go in there in their droves, literally seeking this help, and it's just been absolutely amazing. I've seen the work that you do, and literally when I go there, I don't want to leave. It's worth
and my speciality is to stop people from having their gallbladder removed. So I specialize in liver detox and also colon cleansing. And of course, I've written my book, Digestive Enzymes, Detecting a Leaky Gut Syndrome, where people can learn more about the foods and about what happens in the because we have to know and learn about our bodies, because if you don't know the body, then you're going to do the wrong thing.
So it's Digestive Enzymes, How to Detect a Leaky Gut.
So it's digestive enzymes detecting leaky gut syndrome.
Yep.
And it's not just an ordinary book. It includes a 52-page weekly accountability diary. So
Wow.
it becomes your personal book that you can write in and log what you're doing as well.
Merlee, this is absolutely amazing. This is absolutely amazing, and you know, and the thing about it is, when you have an author of a book, is you're taking years and years and years of their study and years of information that's been put in a way that's digestible, which is only going to be probably part one, but it's digestible, and you can get yourself up to speed to actually learn ways to help yourself as well.
Yeah, because, you know, we carry so much information inside that it's nice, I think, to in pages so that people can actually just pick it up and read it and see for themselves and see if they can actually help themselves. And as you know, Robert, I love getting emails from people, and I always respond personally.
Yeah, what's your email, by the way?
People can contact me at passionateabout.health@gmail.com.
Okay, passionate about health.
Or they can go onto the website, and if they put, on the page, they'll get through to my secretary, and then she'll send it to me. There is a page there that if they want to find out more, they can contact me from the website.
Excellent. That's absolutely brilliant. Look, this has been a really eye-opening story today, guys.
Connect online Monday to Friday with special guests for inspiration, motivation to start your morning right. Music, banter, fun and laughter. Connect when you start your mornings with The Breakfast Show. Only on libertyradio.co.uk. That's right, The Breakfast Show is back. libertyradio.co.uk from 6:30 a.m.